there, everyone. My name is Samantha Attard. I'm a wellness coach, yoga instructor, nutrition PhD in the beautiful Washington, D.C., and I'm very excited to be here with you guys for another nutrition Q&A. Today, we're going to be talking all about carbohydrates, and specifically, are there any healthy carbs left? So I'm going to be giving you some of my favorite guidelines on what to eat, what carbs are good, which carbs are not as great, how often to eat them, and how you can have carbs which are delicious and still be healthy. And before I even launch into it, I want to let you guys know that I have a free little guideline giveaway based on everything we're talking about today. So even if you can't stick around for the full broadcast, head over to my website. So it's HappyHealthyHuman.com, and if you do HappyHealthyHuman.com / okay, ready for this? Healthy Carbs Cheat Sheet with hyphens in between the words, you will be able to download basically all the guidelines, everything that I'm talking about here today. So even if you can't stick around, HappyHealthyHuman.com / Healthy Carbs Cheat Sheet is the place to find it. If you think your friends, family, followers could benefit from this message, this broadcast, please feel free to share it out, tweet about it, share about it on Facebook. I truly appreciate that. So, healthy carbs. First off, what the heck are carbs? What are they doing in your body? Why do we eat them in the first place? So carbohydrates are essentially sugar. So all carbohydrates eventually become sugar in your body, which becomes essentially the currency of energy in our bodies. So sugar, or specifically our blood sugar, is then transported into our cells, and we use that sugar to create energy. So we need sugar in our bodies. If we had no blood glucose in our bodies, we would be dead. We need to have some blood sugar there. Now, very important to note that you can create glucose from some proteins. So there is ways to keep blood sugar even if you don't have any carbs, so don't worry about it like that. But just FYI, we need to have sugar in our bloodstreams. It is required, and ultimately in some areas of our body, specifically in our brain, we can only use sugar for energy. So we need blood glucose in our bodies for energy. Really important stuff. Our brain uses by itself 120 grams of sugar each day, 120 grams of carbs, I should say, each day, noting that carbs and sugar are kind of a one-to-one. Yes, if you have too much blood sugar, it can be a not good thing. If you have too much blood sugar, you can get type 2 diabetes, and this happens because whenever you eat sugar or carbohydrates, you release insulin into your body. So when the blood sugar rises in your body releases insulin in order to bring down those blood sugar levels. If you do that too much to your body, if you're always eating so many carbs that your blood sugar is always running high, your insulin kind of wears down. Your body is not as responsive to it anymore, and then you have these critically high glucose levels that are not safe, critically high blood sugar levels that are not safe for you to have. So that is type 2 diabetes, and that's what happens is your body's not responding to that insulin, so you're not adequately using your blood sugar. You're not pulling it into your body when you need it, and you're not giving yourself the energy that you need. So we definitely want to keep a healthy range of carbs, and that's one of the reasons why carbohydrates have been really demonized in recent years, because we have such a problem with type 2 diabetes in this country, around the world, and we're in general getting way too much sugar and carbs. Also, if you're thinking about trying to lose weight, burn fat, carbohydrates are difficult because they don't really provide you that much satisfaction. They're not really satisfying. Or I should say satiating. So when you have a carbohydrate, if you have a bunch of candy, you're not like, oh, I'm so full, in the same way that you would be if you had something that's really high in fat or really high in protein. So it's really possible to overeat those carbohydrates because our bodies don't register them and really find them very filling in the same way. So that's the kind of give and take that we have going on here, where carbohydrates really good for us. We in general really need them in our bodies, but too much is too much of a good thing, and then we can have some of these other issues with both weight as well as type 2 diabetes. So I wanted to give you guys some guidelines on what are good carbs, what are bad carbs, and how often should you be eating these things. So when we're looking at foods that have carbohydrates in them, we're looking at vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes, and then refined carbs like just plain sugar and flours. So if we're looking at how often we want to eat these things, first off, eating in unlimited quantities, these are going to be our non-starchy vegetables. So these are zucchini, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, leafy greens. We want these all of the time, and these we can have as much of them as possible. So eat in unlimited quantities. And just a note again, because I'm going to be going through a lot of information here, all of it is summarized on my Healthy Carbs cheat sheet. So just go to happyhealthyhuman.com/healthy-carbs-cheat-sheet, and then you'll be able to download this. So unlimited quantities, your non-starchy vegetables, zucchini, leafy greens, cucumbers, green beans, all of that good stuff. Eating at most 2 to 3 times a day. This is going to be fresh fruit. So fruit is delightful, wonderful, super healthy, tons of little phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals and water. It's really awesome for us, but too much of it is going to increase our blood sugar a little bit too much. So fruit, I say limit to 2 to 3 times per day, 2 to 3 servings per day to be still delightful, wonderful, good for you. You definitely want to get those servings, but not overdoing it. Can you at some point explain if and how carbs affect fat gain from retained glucose? Glucose and carbs can affect fat gain because when you have glucose, as I mentioned, your body releases insulin. Insulin acts to first lower your blood sugar, lower the sugar in your blood, but it also increases fat storage capacity because it has to put the glucose, that sugar, somewhere, and so it starts to increase your fat building capacity. So definitely eating carbs can help you gain fat, but same is true for any macronutrient. You can overeat on protein, fat, or carbs. They'll all ultimately turn into fat in your body. So carbs in and of themselves are not inherently fattening. Actually, a study just came out by Kevin Hall at the NIH to show that actually a low carb versus a low fat diet, you can lose the same amount of weight on it. But psychologically, a low fat diet and having really high carbs is really hard to maintain for a lot of people, whereas a low carb diet and a higher fat diet is easier to maintain in the long term. So in that sense, a lower carb diet works better for fat loss, but mostly because you're more satisfied and it's easier to actually maintain. So to continue on the guidelines for what carbs to eat, what not to eat, and how often. We mentioned eating in unlimited quantities, your non-starchy vegetables, 2 to 3 times per day for fresh fruit. 1 to 2 times per day are what I call the starches. So this is starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, winter squashes, beets. These are beans like chickpeas, black beans, white beans, lentils, whole grains like quinoa, rice, oatmeal, amaranth, and then also dried fruit like raisins or prunes. So these ones we want to limit to 1 to 2 times per day. This is going to be providing our starch kind of portion. This is awesome because these starches are a little bit more filling, and they're really satisfying. They taste sweet. They're lovely. Also have some great vitamins and minerals in there. I mean, whether it's the vitamin A that's in sweet potatoes, your B vitamins that are in your amaranth, your quinoa, your grains, so there's some fiber, some fats. Now I want to throw out there that these are just general guidelines. So if you are exercising a lot, if you have a really high energy output, you might need starches more than 1 to 2 times per day. I'm specifically speaking about someone that's trying to lose weight and really stay pretty lean. Then it can be good to lower the starchy portion of those vegetables, increase the non-starchy vegetables. So there is a give and take that you can have here. Eat sparingly, so basically as little as possible. These are all types of sugars. This is all types of sugars, as well as refined flours, breads, pastries, pastas, cakes, rolls, and then sweetened beverages. So we know that sugar, refined flours, sweetened beverages are going to pack a lot of calories in a small quantity. These are going to be the sugars that most quickly come into your body and most quickly cause an increase in your insulin levels, and thus are most related to things like type 2 diabetes. So we're trying to limit as much as possible sugars, refined flours, and sweetened beverages. Rutabaga, turnips, you can definitely eat. They're a little bit more starchy, but they're great for you. Great for you. So that covers most of the foods that are actually do have carbohydrates in them, or a high carbohydrate level in them. So you definitely want to focus first on your non-starchy vegetables. You want to enjoy, but think about limiting some of your fruit 2 to 3 times a day. Eating your starchy vegetables, whole grains, at most 1 to 2 times per day, and staying as far away as possible from sugar, sweetened beverages, and then your refined flours. Now, the next question I always get about carbs is then fiber, and how much fiber I should be having. We definitely are looking to have over 30 grams of fiber per day, but the great thing is that if you are eating like this, having those high amounts of non-starchy vegetables, your fresh fruit, your starchy vegetables, and your whole grains, you're going to get these 30 grams of carbs. So that's a really beautiful thing. 30 grams. And this is going to range slightly, but really increasing the fiber is not a bad thing to do, and we all could use some more. So fiber is going to be coming in all of those foods that I just mentioned, 898. So vegetables have tons of fiber, your whole grains, your legumes like your beans, your starchy vegetables, your fruits, they all have fiber in them, and that's how I recommend to get your fiber. You can also add flax seeds, chia seeds, psyllium husks to some of your foods if you do like a morning smoothie or something like that to help boost your fiber levels. But I do recommend getting fiber from food rather than from supplements, because when you get it from food, you're going to get a wonderful mix of soluble and insoluble fibers. You get it from a lot of different sources, which is really great for feeding your probiotics, your microbiome. Whereas if you just get a supplement, it's just simply one type of fiber and you're feeding one strain of bacteria, and it's not as great as having that beautiful healthy mix. So one thing I just want to mention is, again, remember I do have these guidelines over on my website. So behappyhealthyhuman.com/healthy carbs cheat sheet. Make sure you put hyphens in between so you can download this guideline. It also has a sample day meal plan for how you can get your carbohydrates in. Always feel free to ask me questions about nutrition wellness over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I'm at HappyHealthySam, and then definitely in our group Happy Healthy Humans over on Facebook. Free group to join. Super awesome group of people. You can post recipes, ask about recipes. To answer Pete's question, why is white rice so bad and brown rice so good? They're really not all that different. The great thing about brown rice is that there is a little extra fiber. There's some extra vitamins and minerals. It's been not refined, so there is some extra fiber in there, but the difference is not so huge. Definitely, I love to offer all this advice out freely. I want to give you guys the best information available. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I am a wellness coach, nutrition PhD. I work with people all over the country, all over the world on how they can eat better, lose weight, and feel at their best. So I would love to always work with you. If you are interested in it, you can just send me a note, sam@behappyhealthyhuman.com, and that's the best place to get in touch. Definitely, please follow along, hang out in our beautiful community on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at HappyHealthySam. You can find our group on Facebook, Happy Healthy Humans, which is a wonderful place to go to ask your nutrition questions, get them answered here live over on Periscope. Definitely don't forget to grab your healthy carbs cheat sheet over at my website, behappyhealthyhuman.com, and have a fabulous Friday and a fabulous weekend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Bye.